Thanks very much, Akiko. And first, can I wish all the best to Luke as General Secretary. He will need your help and your support over the years, and I join everyone in offering my support. I also pay tribute to my fellow elected officers and to the staff of the ITUC, as well as the staff in our regions. We never get everything we want for working people, but it is not for want of trying. Trade unions are the voice of hope at the bottom of Pandora's box and the solution to the problems caused by capitalism. I want to focus on 3 examples building on what Luke has said. First, tax. Tax is much more than funding for public services like health, education and care, social protection, and jobs in both the public and private sectors. Tax is critical to tackling inequalities of wealth and power. These days, a staggering amount of wealth and consequently power has been amassed by the rich. Unions represent the rest. The working people who create wealth but do not receive a fair share, who create political power through democracy but increasingly find that it doesn't work for workers. The poor are not the problem. The rich are the problem, and we are the solution. Inheritance taxes restrict the inheritance of privilege as well as wealth. Other wealth taxes can restrain existing excesses and redirect capital into investment in well-paid jobs. And taxes promote economic efficiency as well. That's why we support a financial transactions tax to shift financial markets from speculation to sustainable investment. Progressive taxation, as Luke said, national and global, promotes equality within and between countries and tackles the economic and political power of the rich. We need to press politicians around the world to act for people, not profit. Last year, we secured the massive achievement of the first addition to the ILO Fundamental Principles and Rights of Work in a quarter of a century, making safe and healthy working environments a right for working people. More than 3 million people, as Luke said, die because of their work every year, and hundreds of millions more suffer injuries and illnesses. Those numbers need to come down. No one should die just to make a living. And unions are again the solution. Stronger health and safety creates stronger unions, and more powerful trade unions mean safer, healthier workplaces. We need to increase our investment in this issue, but we also need to demand more action by the ILO in public procurement and global supply chains, in international financial institutions and pension funds, in trade agreements and the ratification and implementation of the core ILO conventions in every country. And finally, peace. There is no more important time to call for peace than in times of war. We've already touched on the latest upsurge of violence in the Middle East. Regarding Ukraine, I pay tribute not only to our affiliates there, but also to those of you who have welcomed refugees or provided funding. And there are more than 50 other conflicts around the world. Peace is one of our core values. The first words of the ILO Constitution are that universal and lasting peace can be established only if it is based upon social justice. And social justice can only be achieved in conditions of peace and security. Another core value is that conflict is best resolved through negotiation. We need common security, not the competitive arms race that could wipe us all out by turning a boiling world into a nuclear winterland. We need, in short, to transform weapons into wind farms. Next month, Jordania will lead a global union delegation to New York. She will need your support to convince workers in the industry, politicians, and voters that this is the only sane and just way to save the planet. Congress, We've coped with exceptional internal turmoil this year, but also with the turmoil in the multilateral system that reached its peak in the Indian government's disgraceful attack on workers' rights and independence during the G20. Please show your solidarity next month when the Indian trade union movement marks the anniversary of the world's largest ever strike. Tackling these and other issues will require leadership from the ITUC, but they will also require your effort, your engagement, and your resourcing. We need you to press your governments to implement the decision taken at the ILC this summer to invoke Article 33 against repression in Belarus. We need you to maintain the solidarity with unions in Myanmar and especially ensure they have the funds to stay active. We need you, mangling President Kennedy's famous phrase, to ask not what the ITUC can do for you, ask rather what you can do for the ITUC. Thanks for doing that.